So we already know that dating is hella hard in your 40s, but it has to be even harder when you've gone through a divorce, and trying to find that next right person could probably be a challenge. Let's talk about it in this episode. Hey, it's Chaun Vaughn, and you are watching My 40 Plus Life. And today's episode, we're still in that 40 plus dating series, but I wanted to touch on dating after divorce. And so today I have a very special guest with me who has been married, divorced, and now we're going to see how it has been for him. Yes, this is from the point of view of the male perspective, how the dating scene has been going for him. I would like to introduce to you Pastor Kenneth Benjamin. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Now, I know you're a pastor.
Yes.
But Kenneth, we've been knowing each other for a long time.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. So I want you to be comfortable,
Okay.
cool, okay? I know your church members might be out there watching. But I do want to have this really transparent conversation because we never know who we might be able to help in the process.
True.
Okay, so why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about who Kenneth Benjamin Jr., now pastor, is?
My name is Kenneth Benjamin. I'm the pastor of the New Creation Church in Texas City, Texas. And I've been the pastor there going on 10 years. I am a divorced single father of 2 daughters, and I've been single or / divorced for the past 10 plus years.
Okay.
So
now diving into that divorce. So going into the marriage, you dated.
Yeah.
And so did she check off all of the boxes for you?
Yes and no. And, that was as they would say, it was a little complicated, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. All right. So you get into the marriage and things don't go as planned, and so you all call it quits. Now, it's been about 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, so about 10 years. So how has the dating scene looked for you? And let me just ask you this. Are you dating and wanting to date?
Yeah, I'm looking for the opportunity now to go to date again.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had some pluses and I've had some not good success, but I'm in the avenue for dating.
Okay, so how do your church members look at you, being that you the pastor and you dating? How they feel about that?
Well, being in the responsible position that I'm in, I'm just not out here dating precariously.
Okay.
You have to be very calculated and prayerful about your decisions. So that's how, and they would be fine if I find someone that would complement my ministry.
Very good. So tell me, what are you looking for and I'm assuming you're really dating for a spouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, one of the things is now in this stage of my life and in ministry, I date with intentionality. So I'm dating to marry.
Okay.
So we're not here to play games. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, and what are you looking for in that woman?
One, of course, must have a relationship with God, relationship with Jesus Christ, let's put it that way. And someone who not just says that they go to church, but they're active in their walk with Christ. Someone who has is a lady and has a good character. I would say impeccable, but I know we can't find anyone that's impeccable. A lady
outside of
with a
myself.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I got you. But someone who is of good character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So looks don't have to play a part in it.
It looks comes with it too.
No, you ain't say that.
Beauty is from within to without. You know, if I see her, and you know, because you can be confused by beauty sometimes, because a person can be beautiful on the outside and be rotten on the inside.
Oh yes.
So, but if they are truly who they are, especially a woman in Christ, you know, that beauty is going to shine from within to without.
Okay. So how has that been going for you?
Oh man, not too good. Not too good.
So in the 10 years, how many women would you say you've dated?
I wouldn't say I've dated many. I've attempted to, or I've been out on occasions, and I haven't been that much successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you finding these women?
To be transparent, I tried online dating.
Okay.
That was
Christian mingles.
I did try Christian.
Oh, you did?
Wasn't successful because the name Christian doesn't mean that that's what comes with that dating site. But I've tried other dating sites.
Farmersonly.com.
No, but I will say that I met some good people from those dating sites. Nothing ever came out of it, but we've gained some great friendships.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you feel is preventing you right now from meeting that special someone? Is it something that is lacking, or is it something that you feel that being divorced that you're holding on to that prevents you from just giving your all to the next person?
Well, I don't think I'm afraid to give my all to the next person, but I think when people interact with me, or I've known you for so many years, so therefore you and I can sit down and we can have a good conversation. But if I meet someone that's new, fresh, that I've just run into, and you know, we start talking, we have like interest, and we start engaging in conversation, then, so what do you do for a living? And then I tell them I'm a pastor, and they're like,
yes.
Well, how do I date a pastor? You know, they try to Google that, and it
I don't want to be no first lady.
There you go. You get all of that, and you know, don't judge me, and I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So it's.
So you think the title, your title, is what kind of cuts women off from you?
Right. You know, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, they're looking to be the next Barack or Michelle. I'm not. Mm-hmm. People are looking to be power couples. I'm not looking for that. But when you meet someone may be a CEO, someone may be an entrepreneur, someone may be a vice president. That's the title of what the occupation that they do. So, but you're dating the person, not the title. Mm-hmm. So I guess when it comes to being a pastor, everyone looks at the title and not the person.
Yeah.
So that's a problem I have.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. So getting back to the divorce thing, if you can get past the title, then they say, well, why did you get a divorce?
Oh, wow. That is a story for another show. So,
but do you think that is that easy to share, or do you even go into that, or what do you tell them?
It's easy to share. I don't mind being transparent about that part of my life, because even though the marriage didn't work out, you know, there were some beautiful things. Our daughters that we have. Mm-hmm. So those are the best parts that came from the marriage. But the other parts, you know, we can talk about it. Right. And I don't have any problems bringing that up and talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, are you willing to date a pastor and almost be or could be a first lady? Let me know in the comments below, because that is very interesting to me. Okay, so Kenneth, moving on to the women, is there an age range that you prefer, or? Well,
I know your show is dating after 40, 40 plus dating.
Yes.
I'm 53. So I look for anything within the range of 43 to a little older than myself.
Okay.
So So
40.
I'm not going to go to an extensive range over nor under.
Okay.
But, just fit in those margins.
Okay. All right. So you can handle a 43-year-old because in this time these women they ready. We at our peak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So and that's another thing. How do you handle that? Because that has to also be a button pusher or closer because you're a pastor. So people these days don't seem like they waiting or they're not willing.
True. But I'm celibate, so therefore, if I'm marrying with intentionality or dating with intentionality to marry, then we will have to wait to marry, to get married, to engage in
those things, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she'll
down
just have
with
to
the get
hope
down.
that you.
We'll have conversations. We'll have conversations, and I'm big on love languages.
Yes.
I'm big on certain things, so we'll have conversations. And if that's the path that we're going, then that's something I'm willing to share with my prospective wife.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. So now what I want to know is, speaking to the ladies out there that may be watching, do you have any tips or advice for them to prepare themselves for their next mate?
Live with purpose. First, tap into their true spirituality and relationship with Jesus Christ. And I know waiting is something that we say, to wait on your husband, because the scripture says that he that findeth, because the man findeth
Exactly.
a wife. So even though you're in that tarrying or waiting stage, make sure that you are making yourself noticeable. If we use the Ruth Boaz story, she made herself available to him. So you should make yourself available in the process. And I think that it'll get you ready. And, pray for the man. If you're looking for a man that is in the faith, look for a man that is practicing the faith, not imitating,
Okay.
but literally going through, who really lives the walk and talks the talk, just not out here playing the games just to get you into marriage, and then it's a totally different thing. So, and date with a purpose.
Okay.
Intentionality.
So do you feel post-divorce that it has been more difficult for you or not?
Yeah, someone dropped something in the dating pool, and I can't put my finger on what it is.
But
It's
poop.
It poop? Okay, all right. Probably some nuclear poop.
Yes.
Because the whole dating scene is totally warped. But your mate could be in a grocery store. Your mate could be in a library. Your mate could be in New York City. It's just the timing and purpose and just being in alignment with those things.
Okay. So one last question that I just have. Do you agree with the saying, happy wife, happy life?
No, we both have to be happy. But and when it comes to that, each person must have their own happiness. Because when we come together, it's a blended thing. So therefore, you're happy, I'm happy.
So you're okay with pleasing her as long as it's being reciprocated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
And I ask that because, that's just been a thing that's going around. Most men feel like the women should be catering to them and not vice versa.
Oh, I feel differently on that. I have a totally different perspective on that. Even though there are gender roles that are traditional in the marriage, one of the things that the love languages brings forth is that if your love language is receiving, then then I give. If my love language is receiving as well, then you give. So it helps bring a balance. So I think when we're looking at that, we're looking at the argument of male versus females, and that's not what it was designed for. Marriage was not designed for a fight. It was designed to grow love in a relationship. It was to grow a family. It was to build on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you give, each person has to give to one another.
I love that. And I'm going to close on that note because that was a word in itself. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining me. You know, having this docile Kenneth in front of me, I'm not used to it, but I appreciate it because you dropped a lot of gems today. So thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed you.
God bless.
Ladies, I really believe that you should listen to a lot of the things that Kenneth said because I do believe he dropped a lot of good gems, but I believe it starts with you. And men, it's okay to want to please your mate, your spouse, your partner, as long as it's being reciprocated. It's all about those love languages. Tap into those love languages, and then there's the balance, just as Kenneth said. Thank you all so much for joining me on this dating series. We have talked to a lot of wonderful guests from the point of view of men and women. But in order to really make yourself happy when it comes to dating in your 40s and beyond, it's just to be you and do what pleases you and pray for that person that God has designed specifically for you. He will be there as long as you are patient and making yourself available. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, this has been My 40 Plus Life. I'll see you next week.